Hey guys, I wanted to take a minute to go over color palettes in LightBurn with you. Someone asked this question in the group. They're fairly simple, although color palettes are very specific to your needs. They're very individualized. So don't take what I'm saying here as what has to be done. This is just how I run my color palettes in LightBurn, and hopefully it'll help you guys. So over here on the right hand side of LightBurn, if you look, you'll see a bunch of different materials that I have listed out, what they are, what mode they are, what layer they are in, the speed and power I'm running them at, and if I have my air on or not. So my system doesn't set up for auto airflow. I have to manually do it, so I just leave air on all the time. So don't let that fool you. Some of you folks need to turn your air on and off when you are engraving versus cutting. So just keep that in mind. Again, my system's set up different than some others. So this again is order of operations. So if I have this little puppy dog here and I want to engrave this interior part on birch wood and then I want to cut it out, I've got my black set up as, or my 00 black down on the bottom here, set up as a light engrave, meaning I don't want a really super dark engrave or super deep engrave. I just want a light engrave. And my parameters for that are 85 inches per second, 15 max power, 15 min power, and then my lines per inch are 256. I'm going to go over this in more detail in just a minute. And then the second operation that happens after I've engraved in this file is going to be that it cuts out that wood. So black being first, it's going to engrave, red being second, it is going to cut out. Hopefully that makes sense, because that's really the only thing this does is tell you what colors you have on your palette at this time or on your workspace at this time, what those colors and layers are, and which ones are going to happen in what order. So if we go down here to our bottom colors, this is where folks start asking questions, how to set this up. It is preference. It really is personal preference. So I showed you that my black is set to an engrave, my red is set to a cut, my blue is also an engrave or my 01 color. And how I've got that set up is if I go into here, this is PP for me, that's pattern ply. Again, it's a personal way of announcing what material I've got this set up on. My pattern ply is engraved at 5 inches per second. My maximum power is 15. Because it's just a vector image and it's not like a photography image or a photograph, my minimum power is always going to be the same, which is 15. And then I've got this guy set up at 300 lines per inch. And I just do that because on my machine, the closer more lines per inch that I get, the smoother that engraved looks, and it avoids me having some lines going through that are visible through my acrylic when I engrave. So once I've got that in there, I just hit OK and it kind of saves for me. If I come down here, again, we've got this red 2 set up here. 3 for me is a 1/2 inch foam cut. So down here, if you hover over these, it should tell you, should. LightBurn doesn't always like to keep information between the two sides. I don't know why. I have yet to figure that out. But if you look here, and my 3 bright green still says CO3, where up here it does tell me that it's 1/2 inch foam cut. So that is how I set these up. Now the way to actually do this and get your parameter set up is to just go in and kind of draw a shape. Draw a square, highlight it, pick the color that you want to use. Let's say I'm using number 10 red. So number 10 red, I want that to be a line, or meaning I want it to cut and not engrave or fill on my machine. So I'm going to make sure it's set to line, and I want this line to be I want to cut out 1/4 inch maple or a 1/4 inch hardwood with this specific color. So I'm going to put in that as a 1/4 inch hardwood cut, because that's what I'm doing with it. I like the whole, it does what it says, it says what it does. So I am going to cut out 1/4 inch hardwood using this dark red line. For me, I know my system pretty well, so I know for 1/4 inch hardwoods, I really need to drop down my speed to about 0.3 inches per second, and my power needs to be about 85. I never really go to 100% power unless it's absolutely necessary. It just taxes your laser tube a little bit more. So if you can find that sweet spot where you're not using as much heat and you're going as fast as you can and it cuts out well, kind of stay there and try to avoid 100% power if you can. This is a line, so I'm only going to do one pass. I don't have to worry about any of this other engraving information, and I'm just going to hit OK. So now that is saved for me, and the next time I go into LightBurn, it's going to tell me that number 10 red is set for 1/4 inch hardwood. So if I open a file and I'm like, okay, I want to cut this guy out of 1/4 inch hardwood, I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to click number 10 red. And now he is going to cut out of 1/4 inch hardwood. That's all there is to setting these up. Again, it's completely personal preference. Feel free to reach out if you guys have questions. I should have a couple more tutorials in LightBurn coming out this week. That'll be super short, but I'm here if you need me. Appreciate you guys giving me the questions and giving me the opportunity to help teach you how to use LightBurn a little bit more. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday.